This presentation will discuss Local Law 87 and the benefits of early compliance. We are Associated Renewable, a leading energy consulting and carbon management company here in New York City. So to start us off, what is Local Law 87? Local Law 87 was implemented in 2009 and requires building owners to perform at the minimum an ASHRAE Level 2 energy audit and retrocommissioning on the base building systems. The audit and retrocommissioning must be performed within 4 years of the required reporting date, and an energy efficiency report will detail those results, and that will be submitted every 10 years. Reporting will begin in 2013. Local Law 87 applies to buildings over 50,000 square feet, 2 or more buildings in the same tax lot number that together exceed 100,000 square feet, and 2 or more buildings held in the condominium form of ownership that are covered by the same board of managers and together exceed 100,000 square feet. There are, however, several exemptions. If a building has received an EPA Energy Star label for 2 out of the 3 years prior to the audit due date, or if a building has received LEED certification for existing buildings, that's LEED EB certification, within 4 years of the audit due date, a building is exempt from the auditing portion of Local Law 87, however not the retrocommissioning portion. A retrocommissioning report still must be submitted in compliance with Local Law 87. The timeline for submitting the energy efficiency report is based on a building's block number. The last digit of that block number determines when the energy efficiency report is due. As you can see from this table here, if the last digit of the block number is a 3, the report will be due in 2013, and those will be the first set of reporting dates. And that will continue. If the last number is a 2, they'll be due in 2022. And this schedule repeats every 10 years, so buildings with the last digit that is 3 will have a report due in 2013 and another due in 2023. And again, audits can be conducted up to 4 years before the due date for that early compliance we're talking about. So what is an energy audit? An energy audit is a study of a building's energy-using equipment. It studies lighting, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, controls, air compressors, water-consuming equipment, and anything else that uses energy in the building. The objective of an energy audit is to identify energy conservation measures, or ECMs, which will allow the facility to reduce energy use without impacting current or planned operations. So again, the objective here is to find ways that your building can reduce energy without significantly affecting how you operate in that building. There are 3 levels of energy audits, and again, an ASHRAE Level 2 or ASHRAE Level 3 audit is required for Local Law 87 compliance. The ASHRAE Level 1 audit is a simple walkthrough analysis. It's a very high-level study of energy use in the building and includes no cost analysis. The ASHRAE Level 2 audit is an energy survey and analysis. It involves a breakdown of energy sources and their end use and outlines low to no cost measures that can be implemented to save energy. It will begin to look at all of the sources of energy and the major places that they are used in your building. The ASHRAE Level 3 audit is a very detailed analysis of capital-intensive modifications. It's a granular study of energy use in the building. It looks at all the energy sources and very specifically defines all the places energy is being used in the building. It also includes very detailed financial information regarding energy use and the savings that those ECMs will cause, and it's a real investment grade study of energy use and improvements. And all of these audits must be performed by a certified professional. There are a lot of different certifications that are approved, but if you are having somebody do your audit, ensure that they have the proper qualifications. So what is retrocommissioning? That's the other half of Local Law 87. Retrocommissioning is a systematic, documented process that identifies low-cost operational and maintenance improvements in existing buildings and brings the buildings up to the design intentions of the current usage. Retrocommissioning looks at all of the existing systems in the building and looks at how to make those operate at peak efficiency. It doesn't involve changing out any equipment, just maintaining and making adjustments on the existing equipment. So why comply early with Local Law 87? Local Law 87 is certainly an upfront cost for property owners and another kind of organizational headache for them to deal with. So it's kind of human nature to drag your feet on these things. Why would you want to do something early? The most obvious reason is that you can start saving energy earlier. You can start saving energy today and not tomorrow, and see those savings continue. There's also the issue of incentive availability. The grants and rebates that are available this year, and they're set to expire, so it's wise to take advantage of them right now. And there's also a certain legal flexibility. There's currently no precedent for how to comply with Local Law 87 because no energy efficiency reports have been submitted. So by complying early, it gives you more control over what you want in that audit report. So let's take a closer look at the cost savings that can be realized with an energy audit. There are three main categories of ECMs that are generally recommended as part of an energy audit. There's your basic low to no cost operational changes, things such as behavior modification or continued HVAC maintenance, the type of things that would result as part of retrocommissioning. And these measures alone can save 5 to 15% on the facility's energy bill. Then there are capital cost programs and improvements, which are basic operational changes that can save 10 to 15% on a facility's energy bill. A great example of this is a lighting retrofit. It requires a small capital cost at the beginning, but the payback is generally 2 to 3 years, sometimes even faster, and very significant savings in energy can be seen. The third category is major capital cost programs and improvements. These certainly require more capital to begin with, but will save more energy. They can reduce the facility's energy bill by 15 to 20%. In many cases, buildings choose to use the savings from the first two categories here to help finance those larger capital cost programs. Something like replacing a chiller, something that would save a lot of energy, but can also cost a lot of money up front. And again, the sooner these changes are made, the sooner energy costs will decrease. So you're saving more money in the long term by doing these things earlier. Here's a case study of a 500,000 square foot office building that Associated Renewable conducted an audit for. This was an ASHRAE Level 2 audit. As you can see, the total annual savings here were $186,605. So by complying early, say 4 years before the audit due date, the building can save 4 times that amount, and then comply with Local Law 87 as well, instead of just saving that amount down the road. There are several rebates, grants, and incentives available for Local Law 87 compliance. One great one is the Lockheed Martin Energy Efficiency Program, which does require pre-approval but will give up to 50%, up to $67,000 for an ASHRAE Level 3 audit. Note that this is one level higher than required by Local Law 87. It will also provide grants for up to 35% of the cost of a retrofit project. However, these incentives are set to expire at the end of this year, and there's no guarantee that they will be renewed. So, and furthermore, as more audit due dates approach, there will be more competition for these incentives. More people will be grabbing for them, and so they're easier to get a hold of now. And then the issue of legal flexibility. Again, Local Law 87 it's still very young, and no energy efficiency reports are due until 2013. The requirements of the law are still subject to interpretation. The New York City Department of Buildings is expected to release more specific guidelines on how to comply with Local Law 87 and what is required in that energy efficiency report. However, they haven't done that yet because the process is just beginning. But an early compliance will allow property managers to have more control over their audit and to identify ECMs that are valuable to them without having to follow guidelines set by the DOB. So a quick summary: energy auditing is a detailed energy and financial analysis of all the major energy systems in a building, ultimately resulting in an array of proposed energy efficiency solutions. Cost savings will be calculated for each energy conservation measure, and an ASHRAE Level 2 audit or greater is required to comply with Local Law 87. And for early compliance, audits can be conducted up to 4 years before the scheduled due date. And there are many benefits: saving energy, receiving grants and rebates, and that flexibility with the energy efficiency report. All these benefits come with early compliance. For a copy of this presentation, if you have any specific questions or if you'd like any more information at all, please feel free to contact us at info@associatedrenewable.com. Thank you.